Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. Please take what resonates, release what doesn't. Let's tap in and see what messages would like to show up for this new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. And look at what this is here. Wow, starting off extremely strong. And I say that because the South Node says, don't let your past hold you back. South Node is something we need to release. The South Node is in the sign of Leo right now. Then we have a new moon eclipse. This is a message for the new moon uh, solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. So it does feel to me like there's a lot of activity, a lot of things. I feel like I feel strongly to say brace yourself, expect the unexpected is how I'm feeling with this new moon, which is happening at 20 degrees of Leo on the 12th of August. So you can look at your chart if you have your chart and see what house is activated. Look where 20 degrees is in your chart, and it'll tell you what house that's associated with. First card up is the Queen of Cups, really beautiful energy to start, and the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there's a cycle that's clearly ending. Eclipse energy removes something. You got the South Node, that's another removal. We got the Nine of Wands right here. You can see somebody catching their breath. They're putting their, the battles, the burdens, the obstacles, the challenges behind them. It's almost like they're rejuvenating, recovering, and getting ready to step up. And in that specific card in this deck, it shows somebody stepping on an Ace of Pentacles, which we're also seeing right there in the Queen of Earth. Well, Queen of Coins in this deck, but Queen of Coins, Queen of Earth, they're both the same energies. So I do feel like there is going to, it just feels to me like a great big swoosh of energy that takes something out of existence and kind of like, it's almost like I feel this energy being picked up and out of one spot and put into another spot. Whether this be, in your job, your career, your money, your finances, relationships within your home or family. It's, you have to see what houses activated at 20 degrees of Leo, and that will give you more additional information. So let's grab some more energy. Let's see what other messages want to come out. And this is for the sign of Sagittarius for this new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Leo, which just so happens to have the South Node sitting in that sign as well. Two queens showing right up. The Queen of Coins and the Queen of Cups. And look at the bottom of the deck, Queen of Wands. Wow. I feel like there is a lot going on in this reading. Already just looking at these cards, sensing that energy of it's time to release something and really tap into your power, right? The grounded, the solid, the stable, the nurturing, the loving, the intuitive, the passionate, the driven, the excitement. It just feels like that sort of energy to me. So if you've been feeling a little lull or a little bit life has been stagnant lately, I feel like, there's a ley lines right there, and I feel like you're at this crossroad, and it's like, okay, what can I release and surrender so that I can tap into, I don't even know if you have to, it could be just a fear of taking your power back or standing in your power or standing in something very solid, stable, though, is how I'm feeling. But it does give me the indication of having to take action as well. And that's we did see it with the Queen of Wands, but I'm feeling like the only queen that was missing so far has been the Queen of Swords. And that's like either seeing clearly, cutting something out, out of your life, that sort of energy. It gives me that vibe. It feels like that's just what is going to be playing out. Like I expect that you'll be tapped into that Queen of Swords energy at some point along this process of this new moon. Emperor energy, Aries energy, taking control, mastering something. That makes a lot of sense because of the three queens. And like I said, there was only that one queen missing. And then that's literally mastering all the realms, the fire, the water, the earth. The only thing that's missing is the air. So it can be where, like I said, there's some sort of communication or there's some sort of clarity in regards to a situation, and it can be just the action of cutting something out of your life in order to have this stability and the security. And look at the bottom of the deck, there's the death card, right? It's about a transformation. And I feel like if you've been around watching me for a while, you know every time I see the king or the queen of swords, I'm always talking about an ascension. And that, so whoever I'm talking to right now, you could be in the midst of a transformation of some sort of ascension and having to master all these realms. And you know, I'm seeing those three, like the two showed up on the table, and then that one that was, you know, it feels like what you don't really see, but is really happening. And then the one that's not here is that Queen of Swords. Let's grab one more energy. Ten of Pentacles. Do not like this Ten of Pentacles. Here is the King of Pentacles. I'm putting him right over there. I feel with this Ten of Pentacles, this always gives me a thief energy. I just feel like somebody's got their hand in something that their hand shouldn't be in. Like something that doesn't belong to them. That's always the vibe I get with that specific Ten of Pentacles. Because the Ten of Pentacles typically talks about legacy, generational wealth. It talks about inheritance, abundance, something like that. This person looks like there's, you know, you see all this darkness, and I feel like there's some sneakiness or some deceptiveness. I just always feel a thief energy when it comes to that. And I don't feel like that's meant to be in, right? In this whatever situation, right? Obviously not. And maybe you haven't seen it yet. Maybe this is something that's getting ready to be brought to the light, which can happen quite quickly when you have this eclipse. Eclipse energy is a wild card. Expect the unexpected, right? And then when I see the South Node talks about something you need to release, right? So it does feel like a disclosure. It feels like a radical shift and change when it comes to cutting something out. And I feel like it's something that's interfering in something, whatever this is. It does feel like it's financial in the physical realm. It's something of value, but I feel like it's something that doesn't belong to somebody where they've tapped their hands in. This could be a person who is a person of authority who is discovering this, disclosing this. You know, I mean, on a low vibrational note, like if somebody, you know, I say this many, many times during many readings where my intention is always to be attracting higher vibrational people, higher vibrational frequencies, people who, you know, want to do the inner work, who want to heal from whatever throughout their lifetime, conditioned upbringing, belief systems, you know, trauma in their life. That's my intention always. But you know, there are people who will run across this video and they'll be watching it, and they could be in an energy of working together in a group, trying to maintain something, but not with their own hard work, right? It's through underhanded, you're like using a position of authority to scam people for money. That would be a perfect example. So, but anyhow, take what resonates, release what doesn't, what side of this you're on. Let's keep moving forward. Let's clarify some of these energies. Let's start with clarifying this Queen and this King of Pentacles. The Queen and the King of Pentacles is a partnership. This is typically a husband and a wife, a marriage. It also can be somebody who is just mastering the realm, and where they've been doing work with the queens can be where it's, you know, no gender in tarot, but it, you know, behind the scenes, somebody could have been mastering these realms of the earth, the water, the fire, which we've seen, and now they're ready for it to be seen. It's ready to be, they're ready to show it to the world. Wow, I almost took that camera right out. Um, wow, look at these cards. I went to grab these. Why I bumped that, right? We see this. This is bookmarked, right? The star card is on one end, and the nine of cups is on the other end. Those are the only two wish cards in the deck. But look what's in the center of them. The Lover's card, where it looks like there's one person who's there and then one person who's not, and then the Seven of Swords. So I kind of get this vibe, whether this is an external situation to you, or take what resonates, release what doesn't. I kind of feel like somebody thought you received a wish fulfillment, is what I feel, by way of deception, by doing something underhanded, by making a choice. The Lover's card can be a choice to, not disclose something or try to get away with something, which I'm seeing right there as well. And I just don't feel like that's going to be the case. I feel like that whatever this low vibrational thievery, and I've seen the thief card show up too many times to think anything other than there has been some sort of theft. There's been some sort of underhanded tactic. Again, it could have been through a corrupt group of people who were in positions of authority, or it can just be that this has been something that has happened to somebody, and now there's a person who is in a position of authority that is going to bring the discovery of this. I do feel the discovery of it. I haven't seen the right card to say that out loud, but I do feel that energy. So we see the Four of Cups. It's interesting because it looks like there's an offer coming in, and it's kind of like this person looks like they're just chilled right out reading a book. Then all of a sudden in comes this offer, but it's like the offer is held up a little bit high and it's hard to see what's in there. So I mean, somebody could be offering something, and you could accept that offer and that cup could be empty, right? I'm just feeling the need to say be mindful if something comes in trying to be offered to you that feels like it could be a distraction. Yeah, look, bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. So that gives me the five, some sort of a lack. So, definitely be cautious about any kind of contracts or offers, opportunities, because I feel opportunist, a thieving opportunity or a thieving opportunist somewhere in the mix of all of this energy. Could even be a group of them. That sort of energy is how I'm feeling. Let's keep going. Just, oof, let's keep going. I feel like this new moon, though, is going to be that fresh start, that new beginning, where the clarity gets brought through is how I'm feeling. There's the Seven of Pentacles, so this talks about what you're investing your time, energy, and effort into. In the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is somebody investing their time, energy, and effort into trying to bring forth a dream, a wish fulfillment. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to that this is meant for, you've been the one putting in the work. Like I said, this could have been you minding your business, chilling out, staying in your lane, getting educated, taking some sort of certification programs, or higher education, something like that. And then all of a sudden something wants to come in, and I kind of feel like distract you from moving forward. It almost feels like, you know look back, is what I keep feeling. We have the King of Fire now. So it's interesting, at the beginning of all of this, we were starting to see all the queens, and now we're starting to see the king. We've seen now the Queen and the King of Pentacles. We have seen the Queen of Wands, and there is the King of Wands, right? Interesting enough that he's right underneath that Emperor energy. And at the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So I'm feeling, with what I'm picking up on here, is, like I said, somebody's been doing the work behind the scenes. They're cutting something off. They're letting something go. There's a powerful transformation taking place with this new moon. And I feel like that is when it's going to be visible for everyone to see. The action that someone's been taking that maybe they weren't able to see before, the physical value and validation of what they have been working on. Meanwhile, like I cannot express this enough. Be so careful because I feel like there is a snake in your camp. And it's with that thieving, like I just feel an opportunist that sees something and tries to strike while the iron's hot. So, definitely be vetting the energies you're around, and sometimes it's even hard, right, to do that because people can, they have wear such a great mask, they're such master manipulators, or that are so persuasive and convincing. I'm kind of feeling like that's not going to be the case though, because I'm kind of feeling like if that was once upon a time their superpower, I feel like it's failed. Like they ran out of whatever, battery. They cannot succeed doing that anymore. That's not surprising to me at all either. We have the Eight of Wands, which talks about somebody succeeding, moving forward, propelling forward into something very beautiful and towards a blessing. The Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, something that's going to be very solid, very stable for the future. So again, just be mindful. It's like crabs in a bucket. You're the crab that's getting out of this bucket, and every crab around you wants to grab hold of your, I don't know, your little claw things, or your ankle, your foot, something, and stop you from getting out of that bucket. Yeah, look, there's victory, there's success. And you see a person in this card that's hiding in the shadows. They're not showing their face. They want to stay hidden. They want to stay behind the scenes. They want to keep any attention off from them, but they're obviously keeping their eye and watching you rise to the occasion, the victory, the success that comes through whatever this manifestation is for you. Let's grab one more card, or this new beginning that's happening for you. It does feel like a victory lap. It feels like victory, success, rising above some challenges, and look what showed up right here. For some of you, this could be somebody trying to sabotage and steal, a solid commitment, that sort of energy as well. Look at that. Tower. There's an Ace of Cups, because when I see the Ace of Cups, like this could be somebody, having this new beginning and moving forward into a connection or some sort of new emotional experience. Of any which way I'm looking at it, it does feel like a new beginning for an emotional experience. Whether this be in your job, your career, or relationship, your home, your finances, it just feels like to me like something great is kicking off for you. And then there's this tower. Then the two, well, I feel I didn't mean to go this long into this reading, but I feel like this tower, you're making a choice in the decision, right? You're letting something go. There's the Ten of Wands in reverse. We've seen it all over here. Something leaving, something leaving. We've seen another card. I don't remember where it was, but something leaving. And now you see the Ace of Cups. You're seeing the Ace of Pentacles. It's like your moving forward, your advancement, your ascension is bringing in stability when it comes to the physical, the emotional, the passionate realm, right? And I just feel like there's someone around you that doesn't want that for you for whatever the reason may be. So just be mindful of that, because it looks like the choices and decisions that you're making to better you are not really going over well or sitting well with someone. And I kind of feel that sabotaging energy associated with it. So, that's what I'm seeing. Let's grab a couple more energies. This is to close this reading out. These are from the universe has your back, right? And look, I don't want to keep going through this deck, because I could, obviously it's trying to paint a big picture, some pretty big energy for you. But the next card that was underneath that is the Nine of Swords to the Six of Swords. Somebody is overwhelmed. Somebody is really challenging, or it's really having a hard time in their mind space in regards to you moving forward. And that does show someone being spiritually guided to move forward. All right, let's see what the universe has to say. With the universe has your back. What does the universe have to say? Wait, here's first card. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good of all. good for all, and that's a great thing to be praying for. Yes, right. Like this isn't trying to put anything set in stone. It's just saying, and I absolutely pray for you to, receive, achieve, to overcome, to liberate yourself from anything holding you back from being your best self, living your best life. Very important thing to do. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, and definitely pray for that energy right there, because that energy needs some prayers to get right. You know what I'm saying? To get in track, to get in alignment, to be able to receive and achieve and get that same thing, right? You got to do it the right way. Next card that comes up says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. And I do believe there's going to be a lot of experiences where, like, wow, I just feel this wow factor, like that came out of nowhere. And I feel like you're recognizing it as you're taking these steps, leaving your comfort zone, because when we have the South Node, that's about leaving our comfort zone. It's about, venturing off into the unknown, into uncharted territory, into where we feel a little discomfort because it's not familiar, right? You have to learn, you have to navigate, you have to explore, and again, making choices and decisions that are for your greater good. There is a stream of love supporting my dreams, and we've seen that in this reading. It's like somebody is moving and achieving and receiving whatever this wish fulfillment is. And in order to receive and achieve all of this, there's things that is meant to be released. We've seen the Ten of Wands under here in reverse. Someone has to let the baggage go. They have to leave behind the burdens, the challenges, the BS from the past, and move forward. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. And we've seen the Magician. It's still sitting right over here. So we do feel like there is a lot of manifestation that is taking place. And again, I feel successfully taking place. And the bottom of the deck says obstacles are detours in the right direction. I already felt like somebody had been delayed maybe for a minute, or things hadn't moved as quickly as they'd hoped, wished, or wanted. But I feel like all of that is changing now. So I do hope this message serves you well. Please don't forget to like this video, leave a comment to claim this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you would like to buy me a coffee, my link is in the description box below. Thank you and have a great day. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light.